Good evening and welcome to the special town meeting for the Town of Limerick Select Board. We were not able to have much of a meeting on Monday because there was no power and no internet, so we had to record what we went over, which was very brief for public view after that point. So we'll try and make up for some of that this evening, and then hopefully we'll be on track Monday for our regular meeting and be able to conduct business accordingly. So first order of business would be to stand for the flag salute.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I don't believe we have minutes from the Monday night meeting as of yet, is that?
No, but there are the minutes that you didn't approve, the March 25th ones, because they were long. You didn't approve on the 1st, and then they're the 1st.
Okay, so we need to approve the
So
minutes.
March 25th and then April 1st.
Okay, I will look for a motion to approve the March 25th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? And then I would look for a motion to approve the April 1st minutes.
So moved.
I wasn't here.
I also wasn't here.
Katie was here.
You can wait until
Well,
Until
yeah,
next week.
we can.
I mean, I can second it, and then I can second it. You're gonna vote and 2-0's gonna lose, so it doesn't make any.
Just wait.
Yeah,
So
next week,
we'll defer that until there's three of
Brady
us at
comes
the
back.
meeting. Yeah.
So you have to go till, because Brady's not gonna be here next week either.
Okay, so,
Well, he won't be here, I didn't say next
No,
week.
you're right, so wait till the 15th. for
Yeah.
those.
We won't be here Monday the 8th.
No, I thought he said he would.
Oh.
Today's the 11th, so he won't be here the 15th.
15th. He won't be here on the
He'll
15th.
be back the 22nd.
okay, well,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
we'll catch it up then. Okay, thanks for keeping track of that for us. And we have no warrants tonight. We approved those we approved those Monday, so.
And just to note, those, for the public, those warrants are available for anybody to look at once they're completed anytime. I know that there was some question about what warrants we approved on Monday night with, without the camera running it. The warrants, if anybody ever wants to see them,
They're online.
they're online. Oh, that's right.
So usually they go, Mondays I usually put them on my flash drive. Wednesday when I come to work I put them on. So Monday was so crazy that I didn't put them on my flash drive, so I asked Julie. So I'll get them tomorrow, make sure that they go on. But normally they're on Wednesday mornings for that week.
For
Every,
the ones that we signed,
yes.
okay?
Yes, that week. So the Monday night ones always go on Wednesday mornings. The week before, yes, there was a delay because I was out sick for the week, so there is some weeks that are, but normally it's pretty easy.
Okay, would somebody care to read the announcements, please?
Okay. The Select Board will meet on Tuesday, April 16th at 7 p.m. The Planning Board will meet on Wednesday, April 17th at 7 p.m.
Patriots Day.
And the municipal office and library will be closed on Monday, April 15th for the holiday. The Charter Commission will meet on Thursday, April 25th at 7 p.m. And the Appeals Board has 2 vacant seats to fill. Please reach out to the Select Board admin if interested, 793-4475. And as a reminder, if you're speaking at any meeting, please go to the microphone so everyone will be able to hear. And as part of the hearing of citizen policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public, will be tolerated during any meetings. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the board of select persons outside the public meeting. Please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have no one here for town, for department reports.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Ray was coming back or not.
Yeah, well, maybe catch him next time.
That's why I'm asking.
The cemetery mowing and the veterans, cemetery sites are, we've, yeah, we do have a list of the various cemeteries that, that the previous committee put together, so we'll get that to the people working on it. The fire building update, I have a note here that several pictures were sent and they'll be added to the website. And there were no legal invoices, last week. And FOAA requests, we have a few small ones, and they're always published on the town website. The town charter update, they're meeting on 4/25. And on the Brick Town Hall repairs, we're moving forward, and we've talked to the adjuster. And town-owned property letters, there are some on payment plans, and there's a cure letter has been sent by the Sheriff's Department, and all the notifications that are needed to move forward on this are in place. What's needed to, bring it up to code, I believe.
So one of the gentlemen, one of the properties, his certified mails were all returned. So he never actually never signed for any of them. The cure letter is a letter being served by the sheriff to let him know that the property is under foreclosure and to let him know the status of what's going on. It's basically, it's like he's hand delivering the letter that went to the mail, and the gentleman's been elusive to this point, I believe. I don't believe they found him yet.
Okay, thanks, John. Any update on the vault?
Yeah, the gentleman called me yesterday. The part that he was waiting for has come in. He will call me one day next week and stop on his way home and put in a new sensor.
Okay, and the business park sign is up there.
We're ready to go, and then we got snow and more snow, so we're ready to go again. I found somebody to call about drilling the post holes. So as soon as I get some confirmation from that person, I will promptly go up and see Dottie for a permit, and then get the post in and get it stood.
All right. Is there any update on the shelter survey? Katie, you've been working on that?
And I think that's probably why Ray was on for department reports. He was in Monday night, so we were just going over, he had some questions about measurements at this building. There's requirements for doorway widths, 32 inches. So he was just verifying that here, determining how many exits there were, and then there's some stuff that I need to look at on the survey. So he did give me a copy of that, and I have it and should have more in the next week.
Okay, thank you.
Can we, not based on this, but I know you brought up Ray, with the storm that happened last week, I think I want to publicly thank Ray. I know that I was in contact with him on, many times the plow contractor would call and say, we can only get halfway down a road. He was the best point of contact I had, and as soon as I got to him, he was able to get the calls out to whoever needed to do to get the trees cleared or the wires out of the way, so at least the plow contractor can get one pass through. So he did a great job, and I just want to thank him for being on top of that.
All right. And on repurposing the boat launch in Lake Arrowhead, we're still waiting on an update, and that'll come later in the spring. And the MMA inspection report, follow-up for the emergency action plan. Some items are being ordered.
We just got our town card, new town card,
Okay,
yesterday, so we can finish ordering supplies, or ordering stuff.
okay, and the auction of Lake Arrowhead lots are still on hold at this point. And is there any update on the Minuteman proposal or alternative?
So I'm a little disappointed in the company that actually came out, and I know they did some sampling for the, I haven't been able to get a call back from him. He did leave a message saying that they were sampling a camera at the Overlook, but that was several weeks ago. And I don't know if they're just so busy. If I don't hear back from him this week, we will reach out to somebody else.
Okay. And the addition to the personnel policy for the EPL time, I think that's been something we've been working on. I know I am in favor of a uniform policy that would, affect all employees, not just a few. But what I'm wondering on, do we know if there is a town that does that, so we can maybe see how they've got it written up and?
We have some. We emailed some.
Oh, okay,
Water barrel.
Water had a good one. I think Julie emailed it to us all.
okay.
So we can compare that with the one we have and see what changes we need to make.
Yeah, okay, good.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Waterboro is the one that I saw requires that they use it at the end of the year, and if they don't, it automatically pays out. But according to the conversation that I had with the attorney, we can't require that they use it, but we can offer the payout option.
Okay, and review the fund balance policy. I think the question was the discrepancy between 10% or 3 months as far as, keeping the fund balance intact. Myself, I think we should stick with the 3 months that has been, what we've been using as discussion points for quite some time.
Yeah, I think the 10% ought to come out.
Okay, then we
So we
should,
just ought to rewrite that so they match.
yeah. Okay. And the abutter request from 1/2/24, we have an email from Ben, and I don't have that accessible.
You have it, but it's one that you guys have had, so.
Yeah,
Just a follow-up to whatever how you want to move forward with that.
I believe we were holding that off till we got some more information from them on when we, later now we talk about selling of LA lots, is to try to get, this one, I believe based on his recommendation, there was the possibility that somebody could come back based on timing, and don't quote me, but, I think we want to lump that in with the other selling of the LAC lots once we get some more information from the attorney on the best way to handle that.
okay.
That letter that he sent, the one in January, he gave a couple of different options. I believe one of them was that 90-day letter that, making the recommendation with them because they don't want the land. That's why they let it go to foreclosure. So we can send them that 90-day.
We can't hear.
We can send them the 90-day.
Okay, so there's a 90-day letter that we can send out on that particular one to the previous owner and get them to basically understand that they're waiving their right to come back, and that would allow this person then to buy them without them returning. Okay. All right,
Okay,
You can re-forward the email if you want. so
be great.
Pop back.
okay, and the squad truck bid review, that is on hold at this point. The discussion of the June warrant articles, they're due to the town clerk on the 12th,
Tomorrow.
which is tomorrow. And we did receive the recommendations from the Budget Committee. And they have voted yes on the $45,000 for the town revaluation, and as far as the, and also to transfer $25,000 from the franchise capital account for upgrading the municipal building media room. The others, they have recommended a no vote. And on the question from the Building Advisory Committee regarding,
Well, hold
go
on.
ahead.
The warrant articles, did we vote on the sidewalk contract one already?
About the budget committee?
No.
Oh,
Article
So the articles for June,
no, you guys have not seen all of these together yet.
so do you have the sidewalk contract one?
On here?
Article 7?
Yeah, it's number 7. You're probably just looking at the budget one.
Okay.
They did not have it on there, sorry. And I'll go add, I need to add this other
So my question is, did we vote on Article 7 yet to approve this on?
No,
So we need to if we're going to give it to her tomorrow.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is the first time you guys have seen them all together.
So these,
So actually, I guess it will be 7 and this one.
so we got 7,
And then this one will be 10.
and then 10 would be the one for their drive.
I'm glad it's on.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
So their drive would be, shall the town enter into a purchase and sales agreement and complete the sale of 3 lots on Doyle Lane to Southern Maine Modular, being lots 23, 48B, 2, 4, and 6, with terms to be in the best interest of the town as approved by the Board of Select Persons.
Okay, so do we look for a motion to make a recommendation on that?
I move that we add that to the June ballot as Article 10.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Steve had his hand up.
Vote on 7.
I make a motion to approve Article 7 as presented.
That was a motion, we need a second.
Oh,
I made a motion.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Okay, all in favor? Yes, sir.
Back to that 10 on
Leah
What?
Drive?
the Lair Drive. We're going to have in there that the requirements they have to pave the road.
Once we enter into the purchase and sales agreement, we'll have certainly the requirement they pave the road.
All right, so it just said the best interest of town.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be so many requirements to try to put them in the warrant article didn't really make sense.
Probably during the public hearing we can.
During the public hearing, we'll certainly talk
I mean,
about,
the whole thing is good, but we're going to have people say,
It-
well.
it needs to be-
in there and that in there.
Yeah.
We have to do that now.
Yeah, it'll be well specified so that we don't get,
Yes.
Don't have the same issues.
Now, on 7 you were talking about, I seem confused because about 6 weeks ago, you guys said that Nick would finish out this contract, and then it would go out to bid. But so what are we doing with it now? Is it, are you extending it, or, that's what I'm saying, because
We're
one
ex-
day you weren't here, they talked about what it was gonna do.
okay,
So that, I'm just saying, just so, is it,
right, so, yeah, when you said it, I was surprised, because in my mind, we've always discussed extending his contract out through the end of 2026.
okay, so that'll be extending it 3 years?
Well, he'll finish up the end, it's extending it too.
Yeah.
Right, because we've already agreed to go to the end of '24.
But is there anything in the contract now that says if somebody takes over, finish out the contract? Is there any language in there for that?
That if what?
If somebody defaulted that this person would finish out the term of the contract?
I don't know that
No.
off the top of my head.
Okay, I'm saying the old one, if it, you know,
Right.
if it didn't say that. That's originally all it, talk about what it was.
I believe we have added some new language about holding back some money in the contract.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that part.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the one that was existing here this year,
If the current contractor defaults, what does it
Default.
say about,
yes, does it say anything about somebody finishes out the term? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know.
I don't have, you just,
When you say the current contractor, Nick's the current contractor.
I
the
think-
one, the prior one that
Yeah.
you took over for.
Yeah,
Is there anything in there that says if somebody takes that over, they finish out terms of the contract?
no, because I don't know why there ever would be, because the new person wouldn't have anything to do with the old contract, right?
Well, he's basically taken over that position.
Yeah, but it would be, you can't expect him to agree to terms that were in somebody else's contract.
Well, the terms of the thing, I'm saying that the length of it, because you're taking,
Not the
over,
length.
like we had talked about, he told you guys, I'm not doing it just for this year, which that's great. But we're adding 2 years on to an existing contract, that's all.
Correct.
Okay, anything more on the warrant articles for June?
Did we voted on all of them?
We did.
Everything sounds okay.
Okay. And on the question from the Building Advisory Committee, that had to do with,
Can I ask a question too? Sorry.
No, go ahead, I'll wait.
So, last week, I didn't know this because I wasn't, not last week, it was before, the one that Dottie covered. I did the minutes today, realized that there was an article about putting money on for the cemetery, appropriating $10,000. The cemetery committee, that did not go to the budget committee, because I didn't know about it. So, can you put one on there if the budget committee hasn't seen it and do an NA with it, or no?
Not if we're going to spend money.
Okay.
I noticed that there was something missing on this group of warrants because it was supposed to have been on in March, but it didn't get put on. The CEO's new vehicle, or used vehicle, or a truck, or whatever. Why wasn't that put on with this one?
The CEO, the code enforcement officer?
It was supposed to be on March, and it was forgotten or overlooked or whatever, and here we got a chance to vote on it in June. Why wasn't that article put on?
He hasn't brought that back to us, has he?
We got an email about it. Did I get the email
No,
about
but
it?
everybody got an email about it. So, he had put it into his capital project,
On
into his budget.
spreadsheet.
as a capital project, account, our capital project. I can't remember what the amount was.
18,000? I didn't see it. I didn't look for it. I didn't
No.
see it. So it wasn't included
No,
or discussed at any of the meetings.
no.
And then when we got the email about it, my suggestion was, if it was something that seemed urgent, we could consider a special town meeting. At the time, I thought we were looking at having one. But he said it wasn't emergent, and so we talked about possibly putting it on the June ballots. And I apologize, because
But it's not on there. Can it be put on?
not with
It'll be
a,
a
not with a
budget.
dollar amount
To be spent, no.
to be spent, because it won't have a recommendation from the Budget Committee. So no, we'll have to defer it.
So it's not going to be put on? I mean, we can spend $81,000 on a brush truck that's not even in service, and we can't even come up with $18,000 for a truck for the CEO?
No, we can, but we do it the same way we did for the brush truck. We have the people vote
Why
on it.
didn't you do it in March? You kicked that one off in March, and it was supposed to be done in June, and nobody paid attention to it.
we didn't know about
Wasn't
it.
that-
With all due respect to the CEO, if he was that hot on it, he should have brought it to us the way the fire chief brought the brush truck to us.
Katie just said that she was aware of this, and it was either going to be a special town meeting or possibly in June.
I was made aware, because I didn't see it when we were going over the budget through December, last month, just before the vote.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of March. I apologize for that, and
It wasn't brought up during, I mean, all due respect with Stan, during the budget season, like, it was brought up after the vote, like, so could have gotten brought up at any of the budget meetings.
I spoke with Stan today, and he said it's not, he's the one that brought it up. He said it's not urgent right now.
That's beside the point, whether he thinks it's urgent or not. He's stuck in the back of the line and everybody gets whatever. It's just, if one department gets things, they all should be created and treated equally.
Then they need to advocate for themselves. I gotta be honest, this is the first time I've ever heard, I've never seen an email, I've never sat in a meeting where we've talked about buying or getting a vehicle for the CEO. The minute you mentioned it,
Okay.
that's why I said CEO. First I've ever heard of it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying,
How about when you're gonna buy a vehicle and the people have voted on a certain vehicle, and then when it comes in, it's a completely different, I mean, when the people wanna vote on something, just like the firehouse, they've made so many changes up there since the people have voted on what they wanted, that, you know, I mean, who can keep up with all the changes and stuff that whoever decides to just change?
It wasn't buying a vehicle either, he wanted his own personal vehicle paid off.
maybe it makes sense to get it on the,
own vehicle paid off,
Yes, that's what it was, that's what it is.
and would the town own it after that?
I don't think so.
That's the first I've heard of, so it's brand new to me, so
We did get an email about a month ago, and we haven't heard anything since. But like I said,
Yeah.
He said he had a
Stan said it-
conversation with you.
what's up?
He said he had a conversation with you on it.
Well, I'll admit, one of us is nuts, and it might be me. I'm
Again,
sorry.
it just-
I've never spoke, I don't recall it.
Attention to who, what, and who pushes this through, and it's gotta stop.
From being on the budget committee, but was it in his actual total for the budget?
no.
It was on the side as like a
was on the side,
capital.
okay. No, that's not-
Just
that's
that capital project, but all I was saying was, just when he was here, it just wasn't brought up, like until after the vote. So after the vote, it was like.
Whatever you was, 15, 18, wasn't
So
actually
every
taken.
budget committee member and every person
Right.
board didn't see it.
That's all I'm saying, because I don't think the 18 was in the total budget.
It was not.
No, it was not, it was on the side as a
And-
capital
Okay, all right.
project.
Because that's how the spreadsheets are set up, and we note that if they want, anything for a
So,
capital project,
yeah.
that
That's what I'm
that's where
saying,
they
because
put it.
other than that, if it was there, the money would be there.
Correct, that's why I just looked. And
That's what-
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So I was just looking
It
for,
wasn't like we all talked about it and just ignored it. It literally, after I went back, I was like, oh, it was like on the side, like, but.
It was something you guys would have saw, and we.
Well, and
probably
it was an
would've-
oversight. I think good information for the budget, so that we can be more
Yeah.
diligent.
Okay, well, moving forward, the question from the Building Advisory Committee had to do with poison ivy around the Scout Building, and Dean was going to look into that for us, so we're waiting on his response. And the discussion on the treasurer's laptop, this is,
I think that can come off now. That was I left it on, but I'm pretty sure that's all been.
it's, in fact, I did speak to Modem Waves about getting that, so he said that would be ordered, and it would be the same as what we've been, the laptops we've been getting. And speaking of that, the Modem Waves agreement, I think we had talked about the need to increase from 20 hours to 40 hours because we need more of his time, to take care of things. And he's able to do that, and I believe we already discussed the need to have that done. And so he is going to send a proposal contract to increase that to 40 hours. So that should be coming forthwith.
can we back up to the computer for a minute?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Would it make any sense for him to set up one of these 4 or 5 that are here for her? I mean, these are fairly new. I don't know the last time I ever saw, I don't know that 3 of them have ever been opened.
Yeah,
They've all been used.
They've all been used?
Yes, they have. They will be now. They have been.
I-
They were used.
I'm not saying, I'm saying, I've never seen more than them open when you opened them the other day. We don't use them, the budget committee uses them.
Yes.
So they most likely will not need them until next budget season. So might it make sense to give her one of these, and the way they go out of cycle, replace it with a new one, next budget
I don't
season?
have any money to do that out of franchise fees.
We're buying her one now,
Yes.
so why can't we use that same money to buy a new one?
I offered her to have mine too, because he claims that mine will not connect to the one thing I've been waiting.
Then why would hers? You know, he needs to come in here and talk to the board if necessary. He recommended if a laptop was going to be taken from this building back and forth, all right, that the one that I have and that Vinnie Pelletier has. So that wasn't included in these, okay? They're worth a lot less. He said they're more rugged, they'll take movement better, throwing them in a car, whatever you do. That's what he said. That's why when we know that she's going to take it and do things at home, I don't even know if these will do everything she needs to do. I don't know that.
Okay.
Okay? And he should come here and talk to people that are making decisions.
Well, we had a conversation with Gil. You talked about the computer.
Yes.
I just simply saw 4 computers sitting in front of us that I don't see get much use, and just asked the question, and you've given the answer. So I'm all set with the computer. We can move on.
Okay. And on the cemetery contract, it mentions here we need to finish signing it.
Yeah, they're the second part of, just didn't get any signatures. One part did, one didn't.
Okay, is that in the,
Yeah, it's there, so you can just sign it at the end. I mean,
okay,
you've already approved it, it just needs,
okay, we'll do that at the end of the meeting. And approve consolidated bill.
you have a copy of that.
Yep.
It was held off last week for some reason. No, it was held off from first. April 1st, the consolidated bill. Is there something else I added to it that they will?
The telephones.
Okay. I think they added Dottie giving me another invoice.
No, they're quotes.
Quote, sorry.
Okay,
One is a quote to add 2 new telephone lines.
yeah, that's the change form that's here.
Yeah. It's getting two portables for Judy and Dee
You
Dee.
cannot hear her.
Need a microphone.
Can you sit up there?
Get closer or go to the podium.
Move that camera off me.
One of them is to get 2 portables for Judy and Dee Dee. Another one is to add a line for Barbara with the phone, repurposing one of their phones, and getting a portable and a new line for downstairs for Isaac. And one of the things that we were supposed to do for MMA for the emergencies is to be able to have like a public address system. So I got that. The phones now, we can punch in a page button that will
We can talk to each other now.
connect to everybody, or we can do an
Connects everybody
individual
through.
one. So Isaac would really need one down there, because if we were to make a full building announcement, he wouldn't hear anything.
Gotcha.
So that's what, I just went ahead and did that. And
Okay,
the other one is for Consolidated to put in a dedicated line just for the
Yeah.
TV. So that should hopefully eliminate one of the problems.
okay.
Can I see it?
It's-
How much is the whole thing?
Oh, yeah, it looks like an extra $41 a month, if
We
that's,
still have to get somebody in to bring in the lines, so that might be the electrician.
okay, yeah, we will need an electrician to bring in the lines to, you know, to hook that all up, so.
So do we rent our phones from Consolidated?
Yes, they do.
Yes. And we do, it was the deal that we went into 5 years ago, which is now expired, so he's working on upping that. The digital lines that we have won't change much. If we don't if we don't get into another contract, the copper lines that we have, which would be the fax machines and the Brick Town Hall, those are copper up there for the security systems, the elevator, those take a huge leap in price. So,
Does the elevator actually have a designated line? I'm wondering, because I was trying to work on those all those numbers that Gil had given me, and I'm wondering if one of them is that.
yes,
Would make sense now.
yeah, we get spam calls on that every now and
Yeah,
then,
that
and then when they
makes sense.
hang up, that's all we can hear is that busy signal that you
Like,
get.
yeah.
Can I sit down?
Unless you're gonna talk again.
Take her.
Make sure they're good.
Are you removing copper lines from the sewer?
Okay, well, then, the update is to add some phones for people here that need it, and also to get a designated line for use for the media here, so that we can have better coverage for, you know, for our meetings.
Does that give us extra, like a different internet line for,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. May I ask a question?
Please.
Dottie, do we pay $10 a month for each phone in this building?
543 or something like that.
Well, the new ones, the monthly recurring charge for a Rove 30 base is $11. And then we're getting 2 Rove 30 phones. They're $9 each a month. I don't know what a primary seat is, but they're adding a primary seat for $12.47 per month.
So,
So it's $41.47 a month for equipment, and then it looks like there's another $200 for port and access and dedicated internet access, EVC, 100 megabytes per second, internet and voice.
That's in
Yeah,
here.
they're two
Do-
different
yep.
codes. One's for the internet, and the other one's for the telephone.
Phones, yep.
so my question again is, do we pay around $10 for each phone in this building per month?
So it's right around there.
$10, $11, $12?
It looks that way.
So that's $120 a year per phone for every year. So are they special phones?
No.
Are they phones you can buy and, you know,
Use the lines?
and use the lines, and we buy it once and maybe it lasts for 5 years?
I can ask them.
I assume if they break, they fix them?
Well, nothing gets fixed anymore. You throw it away.
They give you a new one. So if one breaks, they throw it away and give you another one.
He's not working.
We're still
Have they-
talking $600 for
Have they
5 years?
have they ever updated them? Like, I mean, these that are getting older, do they update them? I mean, well, I mean, I'm sure,
They update the software.
okay, I'm sure that I mean, it's 2024 and we're just excited that we can talk amongst ourselves in the building. I mean, so, I
But did we
mean,
just get what you
That's-
have now new phones, or is it just a different feature to be able
I
to
don't think
use
we got
them?
those when I started.
Okay.
Those were new, right? Were those new phones?
That's what I was
Well,
asking.
we got them 5 years ago.
Okay.
no.
But the PA system does work on them. That's why I was wondering if they were new
Exciting.
phones, like he said. New
Did they come in and get that working for us, or did somebody here figure it out?
I think did they have to do something to get the PA system? Like we called them and
I called them and they did a program.
there's
update.
something they have to do on their
They
end.
can do stuff
And-
remotely with
And
you.
part of that is the rental fee, I assume.
Oh, they didn't charge us for that.
Yeah, and if we own our own phones, they may have charged us for that, or they may not even be able to update it.
Wouldn't have been.
A possibility, but I'm thinking something like that, no.
They definitely wouldn't have done it without a contract.
Well, you get messages on the phone I buy at home.
No, we get email
Oh,
notifications.
to your email.
Get email notifications. So these phones are worth $120 per year for each individual that has a phone. So 5 years, we pay $600 for each phone, and it's worth it. I'm just asking, because it seems like it's over the top.
Well, it's maybe the only technology in this building that's any good. At least, at
Not when,
least when you call people, you get them, and you can leave voicemails, and they seem to get them. And now we have intercom amongst the building. You know, I mean, we could.
That's fine. I'm
we
just
could go buy
asking you just-
10 phones that, who knows who's going to fix them, or how you're going to work on them, and how long they'll last, and when you want a PA system, who do you call? It seems to me with the technology changing, we're almost better off, no different than leasing the copier. Right? I mean, at some point,
okay.
you're going to end up with, you go buy 10 phones today and one of them breaks, 2 years from now, they may not sell the same phone.
No, I mean, I know what you're saying, but even when I worked at school, just to have a message system set up where it was like they could press 1 for like your kid's absence or 2 for, I was like thousands of dollars just for, like it's crazy when you're, you know, like different phone systems, how they all work, so.
Okay, well then, I will look for a motion to add telephones for, add the 3 phones and the primary seat.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor? Okay, then I would also look for a motion to increase the port access for the, for our,
TV
for the
equipment.
TV equipment, sorry.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, discussion? All in favor? Okay, we will get that update from Consolidated. Okay, we also talked about a self-service kayak rental, and we need some follow-up to find out how that would work.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had any more info on it.
The only
or
thing that I
you
have
want me
is,
to reach out again and.
yeah, that might make sense. The only thing I have is the emails that we've been receiving, and honestly, at first I thought it was spam, so I didn't respond, but there's been conversations with the town clerk, and so I just thought we
Okay.
could start a discussion here. Maybe Dee Dee has more information
And
on
I
it.
thought about
given that.
reaching out, maybe sending it to Greg
Yes, I
and-
thought so too.
and seeing his thought, and
Yep.
maybe he'd reach out and find out, like,
That
because I think it would be nice to him, you know, to be involved if we can do it or can't do it, but.
Yeah, I think one of the questions had to do with, I mean, if they're going to be charging for this, is this something that they're asking us to put something in that they're going to benefit from, or would there be some kind of a split? So we got a lot of questions on that,
Yeah,
on how
and
that
maybe it's
works.
worth having this, we can ask him, or, I thought about involving Greg in it.
We've been pretty clear in the past about private organizations making money
Yeah,
off town, it's like,
and that, yeah.
so I mean, if it's, I have this, again, it's the first I've heard of it. My email hasn't worked in months, so I'm trying to get on now, and it's,
Yeah, so
I haven't seen an email in 2
We
months.
have a lot of questions before we would enter
I
into
definitely
something
will
like
find
that.
out more info.
where is this gonna be?
We
If
know not.
if it happens, it would be at Boy Scout Island, I believe.
Okay, so here's the big million-dollar question. So if you're gonna have a business, you're gonna need a conditional use permit. So we gotta look into that too, all right? Now, whether it's the town or not, if you're gonna be down there on the shoreland or whatever, does it need a building? So there's something the CEO has gotta get into, liability and all that other stuff, but you may need a conditional use permit.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
If I had to have one for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, so if somebody's gonna have some rental business down there, it's a business. And can you have a business on the lake? So, but there's so many things.
Yeah.
First I've seen it, but I don't think,
Last week-
nobody should have a business on town property, number one, but if you're gonna do something like this, it should be through the rec committee, however that can work.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on to new business, we have a Bricktown Hall application. This was taken over the phone for Mike Nichols of the Freedom Lodge number 42, May 25th for a dinner.
I make a motion to approve the Bricktown Hall use for May 25th for Freedom Lodge dinner.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, and also that we would waive the fee because it's a,
Reorganization we always have.
right. So, okay, I'll initial that afterwards. Okay, letter from the DOT on bridge replacement. Okay, is this on the Ledgmere Station Bridge?
Yeah, I think so. There's like more informational, but I don't know if you wanted to read it or.
Okay, well, it's not long, I'll read it. The Maine Department of Transportation is currently working on the final design of a bridge wearing surface replacement project of Ledgmere Station Bridge number 1203 in the town of Waterboro and Limerick. Advertisement of the subject project for competitive bids is scheduled for August 2024. Construction of this project is anticipated to be completed during the 2025 construction season. It says the bridge wearing surface replacement project for Ledgmere Station Bridge, which carries New Dam Road over the Little Ossipee River in the Waterboro-Limerick town line. Work will be done using stage construction with alternating one-way traffic. So they've just sent this to the, to the town officials, so there's nothing we need to do with it other than we've been notified that they're planning some work. And schedule the public hearing for the June vote. Absentee ballots will be available May 12th, so when can we do that?
The 13th would be the Monday after.
She's got ballots due, 12th is Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that date's wrong on the email, so it must be Monday. 13th.
Okay, what would be a good date?
Sixth? Should we do it before the 12th?
We should do it before the absentee ballots go out, yes.
Yeah, you do it before the absentee ballot.
June. When's
Oh,
the,
I'm looking at May, I'm sorry. Oh, it is May. The ballots are out
May
May
12th.
12th.
My email said the 12th, but I just want to know if that means the 13th.
So the week before?
that would be the first time
The
So we still should do-
11th is the voting day.
of June.
That's June.
So usually it's a month before,
Yep,
right? You
and-
can have absentee ballots.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that it's the 13th.
So what about our regular Monday night on the 6th? Do it before the meeting, or maybe just meet at 6?
Yeah, that's,
Those six?
sounds right.
I make a motion, we schedule the public hearing for the June vote, May 6th at 6 PM.
Second?
Okay, all in favor? Okay. A sign pole agreement license with CMP.
Working on that for a while. Is it a different one?
I think it's a new one. It's something that Stan used to get to sign, but now it wants municipal officer signatures. It's just when they're gonna put a new pole in a location that's new. Yeah,
Okay, well, we'll,
so you guys have to sign
yeah,
it.
we'll sign that after the fact. Okay, here's a note about a free brush day at the transfer station.
So I had a request if that could happen, so glad Joanne's here. If there, since the storm, if there could be a day or two of allowing people to bring brush to the transfer station.
Would you like to speak to that, Joanne?
Yeah, I think we could make it a weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday. I do believe, though, that Lake Arrowhead, they take care of their own brush on their private roads. As far as I know, they have done that for quite a while. Because for a while there, they were bringing in 18-wheelers, just, you know, it was huge. And I believe they now have their own area where they take care of their brush and have it ground. So,
So our brush is chipped, right, or ground up? We pay for it to be done,
yeah, we pay to have it ground.
and they take it away?
Yep, yep. Yeah, and it normally costs anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000, and I do it every 2 years. It's expensive, very expensive. But, yeah,
So,
I was surprised, really, this past weekend, we had one guy that brought in a little bit, not even a pickup truckload.
How would you feel about going through the end of April? I mean, some people are just getting started.
I was gonna say, I haven't even cleaned up
I
my
mean,
own yard.
if you went at least through the end of April, free brush.
Okay, so
Is that-
how many days would that be?
Gives us just over 2 weeks.
and just on the weekends, not Wednesday?
I would do it, I mean,
Or
I would do it every day through the end of the month.
And what about contractors? Are you gonna let them bring in too?
I think it's gotta be for residents, I mean, and it's a hard, what if somebody hires somebody? What if a resident hires a contractor
Then
to clean their brush up?
he'd have to have a contractor slip, that's what we're doing.
Have to have a what?
Contractor slip. He comes in, he gets the slip, has the landowner
Sign
sign
it.
it, and bring it.
Okay, yeah,
That'll
it
work.
should be, yeah, that works.
That'll work. Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing, Scott should be aware that anything that's brought in, I have to keep track of it, because we can get reimbursed through FEMA for that. And I don't know if Scott has ever gone through that or not. You know, Bob did many times. He was, kept track of everything. Everything's got to be kept track of, and we get reimbursement through FEMA when they declare it a disaster, and I think they already have.
All right.
I'm not sure, but I think they may have already declared it a disaster.
So you'll track what's brought in, and if we've given it to people for free, we can get that reimbursed?
Yes.
And if Scott's chipping on the side of the road, he can get reimbursed too? Okay.
Yep.
I can touch base with Scott tomorrow.
Good. Okay, we have a request to do a background check. Saw that here somewhere. Okay, yeah, the library is requesting a background check. For Gwendolyn Wrench from Ossipee Hill Farm. Gwendolyn is offering a free astronomy club program at area libraries. So, look for a motion to do a background check.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, is that something you can?
Yep, I'll take that, thank you.
Okay. And an update on the Bricktown Hall third floor water.
So, when we shut off the second floor water, it's connected to the third floor. So the Masons don't have, they have a little sink area up there, so they have no water right now for anything that they want. So we didn't know if we had a plumber look at it, if it would be something easy to have third floor water, or because it's connected with second floor, if it, I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is.
Do some kind of a bypass the second floor.
So, yeah, well, let's get a plumber to take a look at it and see what it would take.
And we also, I know this isn't on the new business, but we want to, Stan had asked if we could contact the plumber about taking out our water fountain now that it's malfunctioned.
And we don't use it.
So we just need permission to contact for that too.
Any thoughts? I mean, we've had signs on there, don't drink the water, for a while, so.
Yeah, I would normally say replace it with something new, but no one's gonna drink the water anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. I'd remove it.
We can,
Yeah, let's get a quote for both. And that's it for new business.
you want quotes for both? The quote on the water thing too?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, hearing of citizens.
I realized Monday night was freaky because of the storm and everything, and the power outage and everything, but it'll be a while, and if I can't do it, there's gonna be a lot of other people that can't, to try to find the viewing. I was trying to find the budget committee last night online, like I always go online, and I come across something this morning that said something about it's on Vermo or whatever. This needs to be announced, not just on a page, because like the web page, everybody says go to the web page, all the information you want's on the web page. Well, it isn't always. If it is, it's several days later, which, whatever. But there's a lot of people that normally just punch a button, or I did anyway, dummy me, and you guys would come up and I could see it, and it would, or I could watch it the next day when it was posted. But there's more to it now, and it needs to be explained to the public, so they just figure that the machines aren't working, and, you know, I don't know what you're gonna do about it, but something has to be announced, and, you know, more so than just looking and saying, oh, we're not gonna see it again tonight. Any suggestions? Okay? I mean, you know, it's just, this is what, the second week that I haven't been able to get on, so that's why I'm here.
I think it was yesterday, I got an email from Patrick Bonsant from SRC-TV. It's called VIMEO is the name of the company that archives the live streams. And there's been some issue with that company. So right now, the archive is not available. The meeting that we're live streaming last night was live streamed live on src-tv.org, and this meeting right now has overlaid it. So no one can view the budget committee meeting because there's no archive. They're planning on an archive. It's part of this implementation that they're working on.
I couldn't get the budget committee
It was, I saw it on my phone. You would have to go to their website. Did you go to their? I did not know it until yesterday when I got an email, I think in the afternoon. That's when I knew it. I believe it was shown on SRC-TV. You scroll down and you're going to see the 6 towns, and there's a Limerick one there.
That's what I've come across this morning, that's how I.
It was
figured out
there
the
yesterday.
journal, whatever it is.
It was there yesterday. Okay. So it's a whole new interface. It might change again over this weekend. I don't know. Okay.
How's the public gonna be able to know?
You'd have to call Mr. Bonsant. Thank you. That's, you know everything I know right now. You know everything I know. I'm sorry, I didn't get all of that information to you since yesterday afternoon, but I did get it to Alicia, Dottie, and Joanne.
It's more of a general question.
Yeah?
Are we overcomplicating this? I mean, hate to say it, we got a guy that stood up for 2 years and said, you know what, my kid could do this on FaceTime better. I'm lately almost considering agreeing with him.
Well, I
and not-
published the
So-
Monday night meeting with my camera.
Yeah, I know. Is there a way to film this meeting and have it play on our website live? Without using SRC TV?
But we couldn't stream it to cable.
It wouldn't go out to cable.
Okay, well, I don't, where are the majority of people, I mean, unless I'm wrong, but unless you now still have a cable box in your house, you can't even get Channel 5. For Channel 5, am I wrong? Does anybody?
Cable.
You have to have you have to have a cable box.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have cable in my house in many areas, but I have one, the only room I could get Channel 5 is the one room that I still pay every month for their cable box,
Right.
which are, the cable boxes are getting obsolete. Everybody's doing away with them. Everything is now over the web. Why can't we, I mean, do you normally watch, if you want to watch it at home, would you watch it on Channel 5 or on your phone or TV?
I watch it on my tablet.
I mean, most people, I think, are now
Streaming.
streaming. What?
You have to have Spectrum in order to see it, and a lot of people, if you have DirecTV, you can't see
You
it.
can't see, you have to have Spectrum, and you have to have a cable box.
Yeah.
Correct.
What about Fire Stick and YouTube?
No, well-
There's so many out there.
I mean, I get my Spectrum TV, I pay for Spectrum, and I get it through a Roku stick, right?
Okay,
But I don't get Channel 5, that's not available. So when I put my Spectrum on, the local channel only comes up if you still have the $15 a month cable box, which are really getting obsolete.
There are things that SRC-TV does, okay, that someone else would have to do if you brought all of that in-house. And remember, the revenue stream is coming from Spectrum. Okay?
Yeah.
Will it stop? I don't know.
People, I mean, I may not have, I still pay Spectrum every month, and I'm sure a lot of people
There-
do. I mean, it
there
might
are-
be dwindling.
There are people that don't use computers, that use Spectrum. There are people that exist.
I'm sure there are people we would lose, but are those few that, I don't know how we help them get, or what we can do to, you know,
I can tell you the numbers of people that watch it on live stream, okay?
well, that's good to know.
Lots of times it's 12 people.
Yeah.
Then it will be 50. Might, if there's some hot topics, it'll go to 150.
And they're not from Limerick.
That's live stream
A
on
lot of them are not from, that's live
TV.
stream. That's live stream on the computer.
On the computer.
On internet,
We
yes.
have no way of telling how many people are looking to watch it on TV.
No.
Right.
You can watch the live stream on any device.
Any device, but we don't know how many people are still watching through
No,
their TV on Channel 5, as we've known it.
no.
A lot of the elderly people,
Well, if they have one box.
well, if they have cable and if they have a box.
I mean, you said 6 towns on the SRC TV website, but there are select boards in more than 6 towns. What are they doing?
They're all going to this new system right now. They're the SRC TV system, because they do other things in editing and getting these flicks ready. Sometimes they can amplify the sound. Sometimes they can straighten out and cut things that at the beginning, trim them up, trim the flicks up. They do things, okay? And then they do all the scheduling, okay, for everybody. So you would have to hire somebody to do all that work. You still have to do it. You still have to do some of this.
What do we pay SRC TV over the course of a year?
It's $20-some-odd thousand. I can't remember the
It's like
exact
26
number.
or something.
To find out, it's probably in the,
It's right in the your book, but anyway, it's $20-some-odd thousand. And
Now, the other night, Monday night, Stan was on the phone with the gentleman from SRC TV. And
he was a bit upset, yes.
he was, and I heard bits and pieces of the conversation because I was in Stan's office.
Yeah, he wasn't totally correct, okay?
Who?
Mr. Hackett.
I didn't,
His points weren't totally correct. He was mixing what was happening here with what he knew was happening
Which is-
with the new system and affecting Leamington.
okay. I don't know what he said about Leamington,
Well, he
but I'm going to get into the point that I heard. The point that I heard was the guy from SRC TV said, your problems in Limerick are your own, because you've brought in another company to run wires, and if you had us do it, you wouldn't have those problems, and every time I step foot in that building, I can get everything to work perfectly. So you might want to look at your operators. Those were his words. And that's when Stan defended our operators and our people very strongly and said, I'm not going to point fingers, we're not going to get into finger pointing. We need to get this right. Like, Monday night was maybe abnormal because of the storm.
Yes,
But
you
these
had a piece
problems
of
are just,
equipment fail because of the
yes,
storm.
and that's one night out of 52 weeks. What about the other 30 weeks that people home complaining, saying, I can't see it, I can't hear it, it's not coming here, it's free, it's this, it's that, like, I think it's, somehow we gotta figure out how we get this out to the people, even if it is only one way. Maybe we give up Channel 5, and we do get it to our own website live, and people are gonna have to get on their computers, their tablets. I mean, you can buy a tablet for what that box costs you in a year, right? What you rent that box for,
I have trouble running them. I can't imagine people that haven't had the experience trying to figure out how to get it on a tablet or a phone.
with the current system, with the current system. But what I'm saying is, if someone logged into our town website,
You have to know how to log in.
well, it's not logging into the website, I mean, it's just, it's pulling the, if you, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, it might be difficult for some people, but what I'm saying is, can we get it so it is at least right in one spot, and people can open up, go to the Town of Limerick webpage, and on Monday nights, if there's a meeting, they can see it, they can watch it.
It took me 35 minutes to upload 7 minutes, that's 7 minutes from my home.
And I think,
Now, maybe it'll be faster when I get a faster line in here, but it took me 7 minutes to upload, 35 minutes to upload that 7-minute to the website.
How come we didn't
I-
have them
Yep.
run the lines? Why that statement that you just made?
I don't know.
They do not run cable lines in a network. SRC TV does not do that.
Okay?
They do not do that. That is not their forte. That is not their job. Okay? A company like Connectivity Point is. The wires that were downstairs were run by various people over 20 years, okay, until a couple years ago when we had it straightened out. They were run by sons of selectmen, okay? Some of them were downstairs. They were it was spaghetti, okay? Absolute spaghetti. Nobody knew what wire went where. If you had a problem, none of them were tagged. They weren't put in professionally. This office over here was catastrophic, and they kept complaining because of the cabling.
Let's get, that's, and it's great that it's been fixed, so let's.
It's great that it's
I know,
been
but
fixed, but you're saying that SRC TV can come in here and do it, and they cannot. They said it.
I'm saying you what he said.
not.
I don't know. So my question to you is, I believe that you have more knowledge of our system here than anybody on the face of the earth. Okay? Well, you use it.
Stephanie.
What's that?
her and
Oh,
Stephanie, and Stephanie explained some of this, Bog.
You use it significantly more than anybody else. That's an accurate statement.
I'm glad to give it up.
I don't want you to give it up. My question is, if we said to you, we're going to give you a magic wand and and a wallet. Can you guarantee that this can go out somewhere, somehow, effectively and every night, so people can see it?
You don't pay me enough to guarantee you that. Thank you very much.
But I'm not, no.
I am a technician. In
I know.
that seat, I'm an operator.
Correct.
Okay? Just because I happen to know how to spell computer, you're expecting me to do a lot more, and I have retired.
Okay, so who can we get here to go through this system and say, this is why on Monday night you're freezing 90% of your
You have
time?
a company called Connectivity Point that does this all over the country, okay? That get on their website and see what they do, okay? They are a company that does this for everything, okay? They're professionals, they know what they're doing, they tag wires with little numbers so you can trace them back. Other people don't do that when they're doing stuff half-assed, frankly,
Okay.
okay?
Connectivity Point has been here.
Yeah?
I've seen their guys sit at the chair
Yeah.
for lengths of time.
Yes.
So we do use them to some extent.
Yeah, they,
So.
yes, they
so-
do.
So we need to call them and say, can you please tell us what we need to do?
They can tell you.
Fantastic.
Well,
Can we
and-
call them tomorrow?
Can I just say, Stephanie was in here and we asked some of these questions, maybe not in such detail, but her response was, it's not just these lines that are affected. When you come in with your cell phones and your cell phones are on or you're using your cell phones, it affects the other services in the area, which does create lag for people who are watching it at home, online, or on the television.
And maybe the answer is, it can't be improved because the line on the pole isn't good enough. Or the line coming in, maybe that's the answer.
Or we have to turn off our
That's one of
phones.
the
Or we have to say, leave your cell phones in the car, whatever. But let's find the answer instead of continuing every week
With this.
being accused of running a conspiracy because that's not going out over live TV, or it's not being recorded, because that's what happens when it goes out. I mean, it came out this week. Our 7-minute meeting was a conspiracy, and we were hiding things, and this and that,
Once
and
it was found on the website, it was clearer than, clearer than what you can see on other things.
My phone.
there we go,
I don't know
there we
how
go.
it's done, but
So,
once you find, but to find it is the problem.
Yeah.
Well, there was no announcement from the people that that was going to happen. I saw it yesterday afternoon. I got the
From
email.
SRCTV.
I was just scrolling and happened to see emergency meeting, whatever. So it should be live that night, or whatever the meeting is, and then put on archives, so if someone doesn't see it, they can see it as soon as possible. Is that,
With that would be that's a nice statement. I think perhaps SRC-TV should speak to that. Okay? It's very fluid right now, shall I say.
What about you said that one?
Connectivity Point is a hardware firm that does phone systems, they do television systems, they do a lot of systems nationwide. This is not a small firm, okay? And they're very professional and they are very reliant. I called them Monday when we found out this one piece didn't work. They were here Tuesday and installed it.
But they're not involved in the streaming or the
No,
archive
that's
of the...
SRC-TV.
So,
And the internet
Yes.
you have to have good,
SRC-TV recommended that we use connectivity.
no, they do not.
no, when he brought up Connectivity Point the other night,
They do not
they
know
were
who
like
they are.
poison to each other.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
They-
you think, our SRC-TV was here Monday, he couldn't get it working.
right.
That piece of
So not-
equipment didn't work.
Yes,
So-
I'm not sure what, he said that it was, because he was here for an
It-
hour
it
before
was-
the meeting trying to get it working, so.
Right, he was trying to help.
Yeah, he couldn't get it working himself, so,
He wanted to implement his system.
yeah, but,
But that piece of equipment failed because of the power outage.
Yeah.
That was confirmed
yeah, but it had
by
nothing to
Connectivity
try
Point. It was
itself
replaced
Monday night.
in less than 24 hours. Get that kind of service from somebody.
Did they give you any idea when they'll be able to come?
No, I don't know.
So how can we replace that?
We have a backup copy. I'm making a copy right now.
Gil makes a copy.
They don't have copies.
Yes, they have
Okay,
copies.
okay.
I hope they have copies of this cable that's going out right now.
Oh, they do, because I've
And
gone
that's
down
what
there
my-
several times to get copies.
Yes,
of
we had
different-
3
Oh, nice.
different copies.
Okay.
Okay?
Can those be taken from your copies and put on our website?
Yes, but they're 2-hour meetings, and it takes 35 minutes to load 7.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, that's why we have high speed.
Do
You
they
know,
have
every,
any mechanism? I know you can burn CDs, you can take one CD.
no, we don't do CDs anymore.
No, I'm just, yeah, for instance, that you could take a song off this one and make your own.
You have digital copies in this building.
Do they have something that can hook up out there?
I,
that's done?
I am not going to answer these questions.
That's for SRC TV, and we can, might be on us to get in touch with them.
I can tell you that technically anything is possible, okay? All right, period. It just depends on how much money we spend and how fast. Okay, can I sit down? Thank you.
Thank you. We could get a YouTube channel.
You see a YouTube channel.
We can be
The schools
Limerick.
have one, they do all of that.
Yeah, they call them influencers these days.
Influencers.
Steve, you got something?
Oh, I really don't think you worked tonight.
He was so quiet, I didn't even know he was still here.
I think you forgot what he was saying.
Anyway, Steve McLean. All right, so through all this conversation, why don't we talk to that, whatever the conductivity place was, and why don't we get SRC TV to come up here some Monday night? They've been up here over the years. Get them to come up and let's see what's going on. I mean, that solves a lot of problems.
Well, and that's why I was saying we could get in touch with them. I think it might make sense for, if we need to be updated on this
Let me
stuff.
say something in SRC TV's defense. They have a board of trustees. They invite any selectman to sit on it. They have SRCT committee, and you have a person that's appointed. Dee Dee's had that role, I've had that role, you have, somebody has that role right now. That's their interface between the town, because they have 6 towns and they're running around doing everything else. That's why they don't show up here, because they have monthly meetings that they've invited a selectman to sit on the board of trustees. Martha sat on it for a long
I
time.
had no idea.
What can I say?
For sharing.
What can I say? Maybe we need to put that in the housekeeping rules, I don't know. And they have a monthly meeting with your representative, and I went to those meetings for years, okay? I know that if I had been there, I would have heard this stuff, and I would have reported it back to the Board of Selectmen.
Do we have anybody on there now?
Yes.
I don't know.
So back to that. So there's one piece of the puzzle nobody knew about until right now, right? Because this doesn't seem to be anything, but whatever. Back to my thing about maybe invite them up here and get some clarity of what's going on instead of stumbling along and along and along. The other thing you were talking about, shutting the water cooler off, John, is there something about having a cooler with the 5-gallon water someplace in here in case one of the employees wants water? We got one over the fire station that we really don't use, that we rent. We've rented for, whatever, 5-6 years, so that might be a suggestion. If somebody, you know, you don't have to have it out here, but it could be in one of the offices if somebody wanted some water. Because I don't know if we have a refrigerator up here, or does people bring their cooler? You got
Yes,
water?
downstairs, yeah.
Okay.
No, there's a refrigerator, right, you were saying?
Okay, well, I'm just saying, if we're not gonna have that. On the 3rd floor up there at the Bricktown Hall, if you're gonna open that up to water, we're gonna maybe have a water monitor or something, so we don't have a, you know,
Same
baby
issue.
shower. You know, if we have baby showers, we might as well advertise we got water flowing down from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor onto the 1st floor. You know, I don't know if there can be a shut-off put up there. I mean, when I heard that, you're laughing again, saying, all right, what happens if it malfunctions on the 3rd floor?
So maybe when Alicia gets back, when she speaks to the plumbers and getting some prices, they have automatic shut-off valves that
Yes.
trigger in case of a leak. We've now had 2, one here and one at that
Well, we're
building,
gonna go for, you know, 3's a charm.
that maybe we ought to take a look at getting a price for those.
good
Yeah, if we're
idea.
gonna do something, I mean,
Yep,
you know, we haven't had good luck around here.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And if it comes from the third floor, we're really in trouble.
Just only goes down.
Yeah, all right. The other thing is, I put a call in the something the selectmen ought to think about. With the storm what we had, there's an awful lot of branches hanging around town roads. And, you know, they call them widow makers for a reason. They're big, just hanging there waiting. Maybe tomorrow some of them will come off, but we probably ought to look into finding a company with a bucket, you know, some tree people and Scott to get together to go around trying to get some of this stuff down. Because if you go look around that one up Emery Corner yesterday, then there's a big one sitting right in the middle, just in the V, and at some point it's gonna come down and knock on wood, it doesn't hit somebody. But that's something, you know, we've never had to do. This was the worst in the ice storm for all these local towns, but we ought to look at that. Right now, there's a lot of them just hanging that can't be reached. So we could reach out to somebody and keep track of it, because FEMA will reimburse some of that expense. You know, it's initial cost for us, but if you guys pay attention in the next few days, go around, you'll see what I'm saying.
I know yesterday, Trips Tree Service was over in Waterboro doing, they had a fire truck on one side and a fire truck on the other, helping them out, and they were,
Well, I'm
they
just
had-
saying something.
they had 2 bucket trucks.
Yeah,
that we
something.
have, so
Yeah, we're gonna
maybe
have
we
to
could
do
reach
it.
out to them and have Alicia see if they could go around with Scott and figure out what needs to be done, because
I don't know.
every road's a mess.
Your deal, you know, they wouldn't go in Arrowhead because that's private. I don't think they'd be on private roads. I think you're gonna have to
Yeah.
think outside the box. It's gotta be the
Well, we
town.
just do our town roads. I
Town
mean,
roads, but, I mean, it's something that really should be done, because if you go around, it's some bad stuff hanging around there.
I'm assuming, I know we own a chipper, I'm assuming Scott has control of that now.
Yeah, but those guys, they probably.
I know,
have
but I'm
chip-
talking
they
about the
probably
stuff
have-
that's already down.
Oh, well, he's
He
gonna
might
go,
go.
Scott and Derek are going around chipping to beat hell.
Okay.
There's stuff they can't reach, and that's the point of that. You know, those guys will come in with a couple of people and a chipper, and they'll blow it right in their thing, and maybe we can say they can bring it down to the dump. We'll keep track of, you know, we'll get reimbursed the chips. You know, I mean, it's just something, because like I said, this hasn't happened for 30 years, and it is gonna be a lot. And the last thing I had talked there about a month ago about the siren at the station, John, you weren't there, asking if we could put that on the ballot to let the people, because it's not on the new station. All right, it was with the building committee, it was all there, then it was taken off after. So I think that was a critical thing in the town for a number of years. And I still think, like I said before, several towns in Rhode Island that had tornadoes this summer, they let that off for a warning. If we have to get something different, I know that one's outdated, but we still should have something in the event of an emergency.
Yeah, I think, I know that, from my standpoint, I think we need a little more information, is why can't it stay where it is?
Well, depends what
continue
we're
to
doing,
operate.
depends what we're doing with the building.
Well, for right now, we're not
That's
doing
fine.
anything with it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it should continue to operate until that building,
So we do
until
something.
something different does, right? So it can stay there where it is,
Right.
at no cost,
Yep,
assuming we continue to own that building in perpetuity,
right.
nothing should change.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's not controlled by anything in the new building,
No.
okay?
No, that was, they were gonna move it over, but.
You're talking
that
moving it
got
over,
eliminated.
so-
That's fine.
I know part of moving it over was putting it in the center of the building on top on a cupola,
Well, it's in the front of the building on the cupola. That's fine.
but whatever, I mean, that cost was significant, so I know that was the reason, it doesn't have to be in a cupola, right?
No, no.
And if it has to go across,
It hasn't
not
been
in
in
the
the
cupola
cupola
now.
for 50 years.
No, so if it has to go across the street at some point,
Right,
it certainly can go across the street without the $25,000 cupola,
right.
and I'm just saying, why doesn't it just stay right where it sits for now?
No, that's fine. My point is, we shouldn't not have it.
Correct, and I think at the point where it becomes an issue that it may go away for whatever reason, then it certainly should be discussed, but for now, it should stay right there and run,
Because it was down.
go at noontime every
It
time.
was down for 3 months, and then Adam Mason went up and basically needed to be cleaned. He cleaned it, so now it's back going, you know, but there will come a time that, you know, that's needed. And if something major happens in town, that keeps going off and off and off. People get on their phones, and everybody's trying to talk to each other, saying, right, this is what we got. So it's a pretty important thing for the town to have.
Anyone else?
Couple of quick things that came, just people watching. Aaron Carroll says, in talking about, when we're talking about this water here not wanting to be used, they're hoping next week to have the water treatment on. So that should significantly improve. So I guess whatever we do take out here, we shouldn't take away all the plumbing and everything. Perhaps we can put one back at some point.
Steve was just recommending to cap it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, cap it.
Yeah, that's fine. And, Dee Dee messaged Alicia and said that she is the SRC TV rep.
Okay.
They have meetings, but they're not monthly. They send out an email to all the reps when Patrick needs a decision on something, or if it's budget time. So that's her report on how they operate.
All right.
Okay, I do have one other thing. There is a request that we contact Senator King's office as far as getting another grant for the Deep Vale Water and Sewer Project. So that would require our signatures to send to Senator King's office to
All
initiate.
three, right?
Well, no, that was, there's only one official, but that was for your
Is this for-
review.
No, this is going to Pingree, this is going to Collins, and that's going to King.
Oh, okay, so
So three separate ones.
I'm sorry.
Same
I
letter.
see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would look for a motion to, to sign these requests for our officials to look into another grant,
So moved.
federal grant.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion on that? I know we would like to get, get the funding from the previous ones, but, at least get this in the works so that we can see about getting something. So, okay, all in favor? Okay, we'll sign those three after the fact. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
She did excellent. Thanks.